Manny, you guys have been under center a lot more during spring.
I love it.
Love it?
That's what you're going to ask? I love it.
Yeah, can you maybe expand on that?
Just opens up the game so much more. Play action is very crucial from under center, because the linebackers can't really see the ball as much and figure out things. So I just think it's so much more effective. A lot of play action shots and, simply just running the ball too under center.
Dylan said that it makes it a little harder as a quarterback because you have to be able to make audibles right in the defensive line's face. Do you experience that at all?
I don't know what Dylan's talking about. No, there's some point in football where the defense knows what you're going to run, and it's just who's going to outwork and who's going to be more disciplined than the other person in executing their job. I like getting up there, and gives me a chance to get closer and see certain splits, certain the certain techniques guys are in, especially on the D line. It makes it easier to see things, and I could care less what they hear.
Do the coaches give you regimens and stuff to do over the summer, or are you guys kind of on your own?
As in what?
Just like training and working out and stuff like that.
No, we have, our summer program for lifting and all that stuff. I work with Dennis Giles in the off season. Anytime I have downtime, I throw with him all the time. And I just always have to make sure the guys we're keeping timing down and things like that.
Do you connect with like Nikhil or?
It's my roommate.
So do you guys go and throw a lot?
Yeah.
As your summer thing kind of progressed year to year, like where you realize maybe I shouldn't be lifting as much or lift more, go throw more rounds?
Well, for me, I just have always struggled to put weight on. And now that I've finally been able to get some good weight on me, and my goal is to be about 220 before the season starts. So, once I get close to my goal and it's kind of like fluctuates here and there, then they switch it up in the weight room, do these type of things. But for the most part, we do exactly what everybody else does as quarterbacks. So.
Do you stay here, or do you kind of go back and try and Nikhil said he goes with the high school kid?
I train for the most part lifting and stuff wise, just because Coach Joe is, he knows what my body is and how my body works now. So I like to be on the plan he has us on, because I think what he's doing is really good. But I'll venture out and meet some new faces and kind of take things away from some people just to get some things to learn from them. But for the most part, I just train here, and then when I want to go throw, now that the bubble's open whenever I want it to be, I just go over there and call the boys up and go over there and throw in the summer.
Is that a new thing under Herm, that the bubble's always open?
No, it's last year I had it, but now it's like I got the keys, basically. I don't have the keys, but what I'm saying is I just got to make that call.
Yeah.
And, they'll have somebody come over and open up and sit in there with us or whatever they need to do, rules-wise. So, but for the most part, it's just if they want us to be great and we want to get some work inside the bubble in the off-season when, dudes can be at home playing video games all day, I think that they're completely okay with it. So.
Yes? Go ahead.
How much have you and Cole worked both under center and in the shotgun trying to get that exchange down?
We do it every day. So every day we have, before practice starts, CQ, where that's all that we do is under center and shotgun and call out plays and, go through the motions of the plays. So.
How long did it take to get the ball where you needed to be every time?
He figured it out pretty quickly. And, in high school I was under center a lot. So I do all my training under center just because I feel personally that if you can take a drop from under center, then shotgun is easier. And it's so being able to go under center now, I think, like I said before, it's opening a whole other element of just offensive play for us and the way defenses work. So
I asked Herm about that in regards to the vision of a quarterback changing because you're turning your back on play actions and stuff like that. What is that like, as far as, especially when you're doing some things offensively that are maybe a little bit different?
Let's see. Well, here's how I look at it. When you're in shotgun, it takes the ball about half a second to get to your hands. So that whole half a second, I'm not looking at the defense. I'm looking at the ball, catch the ball, then get my eyes up. So to me, it's equivalent to maybe it's a second instead of a half a second, turning my back, play actioning, turning my body around, and then seeing the field. But now the position that I'm in, the film that I've studied, the film that I continue to study, I know kind of where they're going to be for the most part before the play even happens. So when I'm going back and I know that Jalen's playing boundary safety, but he's all itchy and can't stand still, I know he's going to rotate to the middle of the field. I know that when I get my eyes around to go to the middle of the field and not look for him to the boundary, things like that. So it's just little cues, and as we continue to progress, I think it'll just become clockwork.
So do you think that you've progressed to the point where most of your work is done on trying to figure out what a defense is doing, and then when you see it,
For the most part. I mean, and that's not saying like, mechanically I'm perfect or I make every single throw or anything, because I'm going to mess up here and there. As we've gone back and we've looked at all of spring, there's some days where we come in and we're like, damn, yesterday was bad practice, but we go back and we look at it, and in team segments, I was 13 to 15 or something, you know what I mean? So I want to be so damn good. I want to be great. I want this university to thrive this season with this football team, and so I'm going to put my all into it, and I expect nothing less than perfect, and that's what I want for this team, and that's what I'm going to try and do.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like the ASU defense is uniquely different than what we've seen in the Pac-12.
Well, yeah, of course.
Right.
It's different defense.
Well, yeah. No, but I'm saying, like, there's really not one in the Pac-12 that's that much like this one.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I kind of meant.
There's been a lot of good defense.
Yeah, so.
No, I mean the style, actually the way that the defense is.
No. Yeah, I understand. That's what's intriguing. As I go back and I look at it, years before I got here, when Coach Graham first got here, and there was no defense like Coach Graham's defense, they were tearing everybody's butt up. You know what I mean? So now San Diego State played a couple Pac-12 teams, so some teams are used to it a little bit, but they don't see it all the time. So for us to have a new defense come into the Pac-12 on our team that most of the teams haven't really seen before, it's an advantage because a lot of teams aren't used to it. So it's not easy, but it'll be better for them to take it in storm and like make it happen.
And so what was your perception of San Diego State's defense when you were preparing last year? Was that more challenging because of the style, or not?
At the end of the day, when you just simply take the position names away from the guys that are on the field, it's a traditional defense. But because of the way they're set up, because there's a safety that comes down and plays middle linebacker, guys are like, what is going on? That's when young guys like Dylan Sterling Cole freak out when they see a safety in the middle of the box. So at the end of the day, guys are just in one different spot.
So it's not confusing for younger guys whether you're going to have a single high in this defense or not.
If you don't, now that we've seen it every day, I kind of understand it more, and I've had the chance to like talk with the guys on the defense, and because I like to know things, and so when I make something happen or they make something happen, I go to Jalen. I'm like, what did you see? How did you get there so fast? Did I do something that made you rotate a certain way or things like that? I talk with JJ all the time when he's watching film. I go in his room and I'm like, why are you guys set up like this when it's covered 2? Why do you have 3 safeties? What is the middle guy gonna do? Is it Tampa? All these little things. So it's just, you're gonna take away as much as you want to take away. So it's not that hard once you really lock in on it for a while.
So opposing quarterbacks against ASU's defense, what do you think that's going to be like?
I hope we have a damn good defense. I can't wait for the opportunities these guys have on defense. I think they got a fire lit in them right now, and I think they're really confident in what they're doing and how they're doing it and the system that we're running. So, defense to me it's a confidence thing. It's if guys know what they're doing, how they're doing it, and they study the right way, it can be scary how good the defense can be. And that scheme and the setup is really good. So I hope we hold everybody to under 20 points. If we do that, we won't lose. So